This video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to go beyond belief and into being, and how when you do this, you begin to tap into the vibration of existence, which is unconditional love. By the end of this video, you'll understand more on how to do this, and it can radically change your life. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron, and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you something that has to do with going beyond the understanding that our beliefs create our reality. And that's something I've been sharing a lot on my channel, is understanding that we always get in life a reflection of what we believe to be true, and how when we change those beliefs, we then change the outer reflection we get in life. Many people will go about it trying to change the outer reflection, which is almost like going over to a mirror and trying to change your reflection by touching the mirror and changing the expression on your face, when first you must go within yourself and change from the inside, and then the reflection on the mirror changes naturally. So what I'm sharing with you today is actually has to do with a shift in consciousness, a shift in understanding of who you are. Think of it like a scope on a camera, and it's normally focused in the ego, and when you expand it out, you begin to perceive more of reality and how you relate to everyone else in it. Because the truth is, you are connected to every single person you come into contact with. And not only that, that other person is actually a reflection of you at the deepest levels. Because at the fundamental core, you are an immortal spiritual being having a temporary human experience. You could even say you're having a temporary spiritual experience, because you're becoming more aware as to your spirituality. Now, most of our beliefs form in childhood. When we're a child, between the ages of 0 to 12, we're primarily in what is called a theta brainwave state. In a theta brainwave state, we just absorb our environment. So the moment something happens, the moment someone tells us something, if we agree to it and we allow it in, it becomes a part of who we are. In a way, it becomes a part of our identity. And then what we do is we live out that same pattern. Most people will live it out their whole entire lives, not knowing that they can change it by becoming aware of it and letting it go. It's just that most people's beliefs are on autopilot. So let me ask you the question: what do you believe to be true? What do you believe about reality itself? Do things come to you easily? What do you believe about the manifestation process? Is it hard or is it easy? What do you believe about finances and you attaining money, abundance in general? Is your definition of abundance just money, or could it be opportunities as well? How and what do you believe about health? Because whatever you believe about any of these categories is going to be what you get equal to in your own life. And I remember recently, maybe this is like 2 or 3 years ago, I went to a Bashar conference. If you guys don't know Bashar, I've watched a lot of his videos. Bashar is channeled by Daryl Inca, been around for over 30 years. And I went to one of these seminars and I asked a question. And when I asked a question, I had a question about the belief systems of enlightened people. I said, what are the belief systems of Buddha, of Krishna, of Jesus? What are the belief systems that they have? What are some of the beliefs they have? And his answer surprised me, because I thought he was going to say something like, they believe in unconditional love and they believe in the source consciousness. But what he told me was much deeper than that. He said that they didn't have beliefs, they had knowings. They went beyond belief and into knowing. And I thought to myself, wow, beliefs do create reality, but that's from the paradigm of the ego. And when you move to a state of presence, into a state of being, you start to then understand reality from a completely new paradigm. Now, what would it be that they knew? They understood that they were source and are source energy, which is unconditional love. They understood that the fabric of existence itself is unconditional love. The fabric of existence itself is unconditional love. So you don't have to believe in unconditional love for you to then experience it, because it's a natural part of who you are. It's more so about becoming aware of the limiting beliefs and the beliefs in your mind of separation that hold you back from feeling the unconditional love that is around you at all times. So this is about knowing how reality really works. And yes, reality is a mirror, but the more you let go of your beliefs of labels, the more you let go of things that make you feel separate from other people, the more you feel connected naturally, because it's a natural byproduct for who you are. You are connected to everyone else in your life. You are unconditional love and bliss at your core, and that's why it's more about letting go than piling on. When you look at that chart of consciousness that I've shared many times before, you'll see at the bottom you have these lower vibrational emotions. This chart of consciousness raises from 0 to 1,000. 1,000 would be like avatar status. 700 is enlightenment. 500 is unconditional love. 400 is reasoning, which is the mind, which is beliefs create a reality. And then under that you have acceptance. You have that of neutrality, which is observing the thoughts. You have lower vibrational emotions. This is shame, fear, guilt, anger. And with this whole process of raising our vibration state of consciousness, there's a huge jump that happens when we go from reasoning, which is understanding that our beliefs create our reality, when we go out of reasoning and into the heart, which is love. Now, Einstein himself calibrated at 499, which is just on the tip of tapping into unconditional love, but in order for him to get there, he would have had to let go of all the intellectual ideas, which he began to do in his life. Because the intellect will only take you so far. So yes, beliefs create your reality, but at a certain point you can let go of the beliefs and move into being. Being present to the moment, being in the unconditional love that you naturally are. So let's talk about love for a minute. When it comes to love, it's about understanding that it has to do with being in your heart, feeling connected to other people. Think of it like there's this cosmic web throughout all of reality, and we're all connected. But the more rules we make as to what it takes to love someone else, the more separated we feel from other people. When we label people and say, they're not awake yet, they don't understand spiritual awakening, we separate ourselves from it. When we say this person's of this race or this religion or whatever it is, we create separation. The key is to be aware that we're all human beings. When you expand the scope out, you see that we have much more in common than we do not in common. And it's easier to feel connected. Now let's look at this from an individual perspective. Do you want to feel more love in your life? Well, what you do is you let go of the rules in your mind about what it takes for you to love yourself. Maybe you have rules that say, well, when I'm the perfect body weight, then I'll love myself. Maybe you have rules that say, when I make a certain amount of money per year, then I'll love myself. Maybe make a rule that says, when other people love me, then I'll love myself. When people validate me, then I'll love myself. These rules will keep you in the present moment from feeling the unconditional love that is already here for you. The truth is as well, is a lot of these things can't give you the love that you want, only you can give it to you. And the way you give it to you is by dropping the rules. Dropping the necessity to have other people validate you. And you do that by going within yourself and tapping into your own heart center. Even right now, put your hands over your heart like this, and just take a deep breath. As you breathe out, feel your body relax. And know that if you just do this for 5 minutes a day, you begin to bring the electromagnetic energy from being majority in the head and into your heart. And doing so, when you then move throughout your day, you'll feel more connected to yourself. You'll feel more connected to other people because you're growing the electromagnetic energy there. There's a toroidal field that exists around our heart and a toroidal field that exists around our body. The one in our heart is thousands of times more powerful than the one that goes around our head. So begin to tap into the love vibration by understanding that it's a natural part of how reality works. You are connected to everyone else. You don't have to believe in unconditional love to experience unconditional love. You just have to let go of all those emotions below that of unconditional love, which is reasoning, the intellectual ideas, which is the neutrality, which is that of the shame, fear, guilt. Let it all go. Understand that you've lived most of your life from the ego's perspective, reacting to your environment. But as you take your power back, you realize that you can change that reaction. Instead, you can respond, and you can respond with love. You can respond from your heart. Knowing everyone's connected, would you gossip about someone else, knowing that that someone else is another part of you? That's a realization I had last night. Just making kind of a shade comment about someone. And immediately after making that little comment, even though it was from my ego's perspective, I felt guilty about it. And then what I did is I observed it, let it go, and let that be a powerful lesson to only be thinking of thoughts that are equal to that the way I would think about myself. Because everyone's doing the best they can with where they are. Another thing you must do to tap into this state of beingness is to heal your past. Become aware of the beliefs you have. Become aware of the patterns you have of the past, the things that you feel are holding you back. Integrate what is called your shadow self. Because what happened is, as this avatar being that you've been living as, there's this avatar being, something happened in your life when you were young, and that thing caused a disruption in your energy field. Then what happened is you went through life getting a constant reflection of that disruption. And until you integrate that disruption and complete that, you will continue to repeat that. So the key is to complete the past. And I have a free webinar training that will show you how to integrate your shadow self, how I let go of my painful past, how I raised my vibrational set point, and how I became emotionally free without having a dark night of the soul. That's a free webinar training you'll see in the top of the description box below, and it will help you to raise your vibrational frequency, and it will also help you to understand how to integrate this shadow aspect of you. So for this process, understand that the love vibration is a natural part of the way reality works. And what I'm doing right now is I'm creating something called the shift experience that is helping people to move beyond belief and into being. And the way you do that is by constantly coming back to the present moment and understanding that even if you have these ideas about who you think you are much more vast than you can imagine. You're much more beyond that. And you tap into that, the more you tap into the present moment right now. You see, we give ourselves so much, we have to give ourselves so much permission. We have to do all these things to get permission. You can give yourself permission right now to just be. Instead of thinking that you have to, in order to be an artist, you have to paint a whole bunch, you have to draw a whole bunch, you have to have your own art gallery studio, just be an artist. Just be. It's the intellect, it's the mind that butchers up this whole thing. Whatever you want to do in your life, instead of you want to be a writer, don't think you have to publish a book to be a writer. Write. Just be. You see, the mind will stop us because it will say that in order to do something, you have to give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to be your own guru. Give yourself permission to be the artist. Give yourself permission to be that of the writer. Give yourself permission. The more you give yourself permission, the more you will actually be. Don't try, be. Trying is a state in of itself. It's a state of resistance. Don't try, be. Just do and be whatever you want to be. And then you start to tap into the existence itself of the present moment and that of unconditional love. Then you'll be in a high vibrational state and things will come and happen even easier for you. So this is what you can begin to do. Tap into being, go beyond belief and into being by giving yourself permission to be how you prefer to be, to do what you love. Understand you can let go of all the beliefs. Beliefs do create your reality. They're powerful tools, but tap into the present moment and understanding that unconditional love is a natural part of how reality works. It's existence itself. And you tap into it by going inside of your heart, by knowing that you are connected to everyone else. Let go of the rules as to what it takes for you to be happy, and you will start to feel higher vibrational than ever before. So something else I'll be doing is more live Q&As on Instagram. If you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, you'll see right here I do live Q&As almost every day. Plus I post twice a day there as well, so you can follow me there if you want more content. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification here so you can see the daily vids that I do. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.